Welcome to Narka Tales. In every friendship, there are unspoken boundaries, lines drawn in the sand that protect what's most sacred. But what happens when those lines are erased by jealousy, and the very things meant to bind two people together become evidence in a drama that tears lives apart? Tonight's story comes from our relationships, where consent collides with suspicion, and intimacy is weaponized by someone you once trusted. I want you to meet three people. OP, a 29-year-old woman with a sleeping fetish she shares only with the man she loves. John, her 34-year-old boyfriend, who cherishes her desires and honors them in private. And Sarah, OP's 31-year-old childhood friend, whose quiet crush on John lay hidden like a fault line under a lifetime of smiles and inside jokes. OP and John's relationship, by all appearances, was a dream built on understanding. By day, they were a loving couple, dinner dates, whispered conversations at midnight, the comfort of a warm hand in theirs. But by night, when OP slipped into slumber and abandoned consciousness, John became her willing collaborator in a secret shared only between two hearts. Armed with a phone camera, John would cradle OP in deep embrace, capturing stolen moments of tenderness, kisses against her temple, murmured assurances on her collarbone, images no stranger could reproduce, content no porn star could offer. To them, these private recordings weren't exploitation. They were love letters, pixelated proof of trust. Each morning, John would transfer the footage to OP, a silent invitation to relive their intimacy, to feel cherished while the world slept. These videos, and only these, fueled OP's deepest fantasies, far more vividly than any scripted scenario could. She treasured each frame as an affirmation of John's devotion. Behind every play button lay a promise: "You are safe in my arms, even while dreaming." In their close-knit friend group, OP and Sarah had navigated decades of birthdays, breakups, and family dramas. Sarah had always harbored a soft spot for John, a crush so gently nurtured it never felt like a betrayal to OP. After all, Sarah never crossed a line. No late-night texts, no secret overtures. Just the occasional friendly elbow to look at his phone screen, a playful shoulder slap when he told a joke, harmless gestures, OP had thought. So when John set a passcode on his phone, OP never suspected Sarah could breach even that simple barrier. Then, one afternoon, Sarah's curiosity overran discretion. While glancing at John's unlocked phone, she caught a glimpse of something that wasn't a puppy video or a sunset photo, but a snapshot of John enfolding OP in a loving hug, her face softened by sleep. Intrigued, she dug further, a gallery brimming with videos and images of John's nighttime artistry. It was no longer curiosity. It felt like a revelation. In her mind, the scene shifted from romance to horror. His assaulting her, Sarah thought. Without hesitation, she began snapping photos of each file, her phone's camera flashing in the privacy of someone else's deepest secret. The next day, Sarah struck like a contagion. At first, it was subtle, a concerned message from a mutual friend. "Are you okay? We heard." Then swirl of whispers. "He's been recording you without waking you. This is assault. We have to tell the police." Rumors fanned into accusations, and OP found herself the focus of a panic she never invited. Threats of police intervention, staged interventions by self-appointed saviors, even a phone call to OP's father. "Your daughter is being abused," they gasped. OP was unmoored, humiliated at the thought that her love-filled fetish could be branded a crime. Desperate to defend John's consent and OP's autonomy, she did the only thing she could. She went to the police alone. At the station, she offered her statement. "I came here because these videos, private, consensual, were stolen from John's phone by our friend Sarah. She distributed them widely without our permission." At first, the desk officer leaned forward, eyes narrowing. "This might be sex exploitation," he murmured, paging a supervisor. But after back and forth between precincts, the law settled on an unexpected path. What Sarah had done was a misdemeanor, but each stolen image and video counted as a separate offense. Overnight, Sarah had turned a harmless kink into a multi-count criminal case. When detectives knocked on Sarah's door, the stolen phone was seized, her gallery wiped clean under threat of contempt. For OP and John, it was a bittersweet victory. Justice for the theft, but the knowledge that once something enters the digital ether, it can never be fully erased. Fearing endless reposts, OP took the fight online. She copyrighted over 100 images and videos, claiming ownership and demanding takedowns from every adult site in sight. She even registered a new domain, underconstructionforus.com, a digital fortress where any attempt to upload their intimacy would be met with cease and desist letters from a lawyer retained by her father. It was the moment of shocking twist. Sarah had planned a soft coup to isolate John from his friends, to turn them against the couple and present herself as the one who rescued OP from an abuser. This is a tactic as old as deceit. Starve the victim of support until they lean on the manipulator alone. But Sarah's plan unraveled when OP refused to believe the whispers and confronted the lie head-on, first with police, then with lawyers, then with the world. Now, in desperate posts on social media, OP declared her love without shame. Yes, we make adult content, intimate, consensual, and meant for our eyes only. Anyone sharing it without our say-so will hear from my attorney. A wave of apologies rolled in from those who'd gossiped. Some friends offered tearful regret, others blocked Sarah in solidarity. The couple's private world spilled into public view, yet they emerged unbowed. In the weeks that followed, Sarah's phone never rang with friendly voices. Instead, she faced court dates and the cold realization that betrayal can transform love into a liability. OP and John, meanwhile, forged ahead, leaning on each other as they navigated the streaming removals and the relentless ping of copyright takedown emails. Their bond, cemented in whispered promises in the dead of night, grew stronger in daylight adversity. Tonight, we end where we began, with three people whose lives collided over the most private of acts. OP and John learned that love, expressed in 1,000 frames of slow, silent devotion, can be misread as something darker. Sarah discovered how swiftly loyalty can be weaponized, and how a crush that never dare speak its name can erupt in destructive suspicion. In the digital age, privacy is fragile, and consent is a battlefield. But as OP and John showed us, the fiercest defense lies not in hiding from the world, but in standing before it together, ring in hand, camera rolling, hearts open. They turned humiliation into empowerment, turning stolen footage into legal armor and a shared website into a beacon of consent and trust. So the next time someone whispers of betrayal, ask yourself, are they seeking truth, or merely seeking to control the narrative? True friendship demands courage to defend what's right, even when the world is shouting otherwise. And true love endures, even when it must fight for its own definition. Thank you for listening. If you found value in this tale, subscribe for more stories where affection and adversity collide. This has been Narka Tales, where love's deepest secrets face the harshest truths. Good night, and guard your trust well.